but we're going alphabetical order, which means, Rucker, we got to start out right away. Your Arizona Wildcats. Floor is yours. Where do you want to start with them?
Bear down, baby. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun episode because there's a lot of really ups and downs when it comes to the Big 12.
Not a whole lot of in between.
Not a lot of in between. I feel like it's either you're really excited or you're like, where are we going here? But Arizona's gonna be fun. We can start with the big name. Koa Peat is gonna be, I think, one of the top freshman prospects to kind of watch in this conference. I almost said division because I'm all over the place with basketball. I still go back and forth, Metcalf, about like what I think I'm at a point now with Koa Peat where I'm just like, let's just see what it looks like early on in the year, because I think everyone's gonna have some questions about, hey, is this a little bit of a tweener? We've talked about him on like previous pods about like, hey, is this an Aaron Gordon? And then you gave another Arizona Wildcat shout out, Derek Williams. I think I just kind of want to see, is the FIBA Koa Peat going to transfer to college hoops, or are we going to see someone that is trying to play bully ball a little bit too much and is going to be matched a little bit more, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I can already tell that this is going to be the guy all year. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see it. And I want to. And I think he's going to be the toughest eval for me this year, at least from the big name incoming freshman, because the athletic tools rock. And when he's rolling and overpowering guys and rim running and slashing and being really dynamic and showing off his footwork with, getting to the rim on Euros and spin moves and then throwing down with the big poster dunk, it's kind of hard not to be like, this is fun. And then he sprinkles in some flashing stuff and some mid-range pull-up stuff, and then, some weak side rim protection and defensive playmaking. And you're like, this rocks. And then you dive into the little things like the defensive awareness, the consistency, staying out of foul trouble, sliding his feet, committing to defensive fundamentals. And you start to lose me, because I thought his defensive tape in high school and AAU was really bad. The defensive playmaking was fun, but it just seemed like he was going through the motions on that end of the floor. It was a lot better with Team USA, so I'm optimistic that we see that it was a setting and context type thing, and it improves a ton with Arizona. But even in a lot of those Team USA games during FIBA, he was in foul trouble a lot. So I don't know what to do with him.
It's a tough little, because I think you bring up great points, because we saw Carter Bryant last year thrive defensively, but offensively wasn't just ready to go out of the gate. Or at least Tommy felt that way, Tommy Lloyd. So last year's team, I felt like, had more of a veteran presence. This year's team feels younger.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, I'm like, they might have to give him some run early. Some of the vets coming back, Toby Awaka and Krivas, should be kind of their front court that should get a lot of run. Then you get young. Anthony Del Orso is probably, and Jaden Bradley are two, guards that are going to be getting a lot of minutes because they're older, and Tommy's going to trust them early. Then it's just wide open to who really is going to get some early run with these freshmen. And there's a lot of talented guys. I just don't know how quickly they're going to be ready to go. But Pete, I think, is going to have, obviously, first chance. But Tommy Lloyd wants you to play defense. Tommy Lloyd wants you to be able to play team basketball offensively. You got to be able to do that. So, it's going to be really fascinating to kind of see how ready Pete is to contribute on both sides. I agree with you. I think he's going to be one of my toughest evals, because we're going to have a lot of games where he's got 18 and 9, and you watch the film and it's, 8 of the points were in transition, and 6 of them were around the basket, and you're like, oh, we get 1 3-point jumper. So it's going to be a tough one, I think.
And then the outside shot just needs a lot of work too. And it seems like his hand placement is different a lot. Like, he'll be on the side of the ball. I don't know. It seems like the outside shot almost needs to be entirely overhauled. There's some fun mid-range pull-up stuff with him. But when we talk about defense and shooting, like, another incoming freshman, Brayden Burries, I'm a little more excited about. I still have Pete higher at this point, but Burries' two-way impact as a guard, and when he gets hot, he can fill up a stat sheet really quickly. I think there's some really fun passing stuff with him, some scoring versatility, play some bully ball at that guard spot. just kind of streaky as a shooter.
Another one that I'm really fascinated to kind of see, because Burries was a late commit. It was a big get for Arizona when they got him. He was 12th overall out of high school when it came to ESPN's top 100. He's listed at 6'4", 205 by team websites. We always know how that works out, but a talented player that I watched my high school tape of him, and I feel like I'm just like, this is another wait and see. I just have simply guys that I watch with their high school tape where I'm like, just get me to college. I need to see what it looks like here, because I can't over analyze and freak out about high school tape. I think I get to a point where I'm like, I get the idea. Let's move on. All right. Like, this is where I'm starting with how I feel about you. But what about you? Any burning thoughts with Burries?
I think he's just more of that two guard. I'm really intrigued to see if they try and pivot him more into playing that backup point guard long term. Because I'm Jane Bradley, I'm assuming is going to be given the ball and allowed to run the show. Because Del Orso is a shooting guard. Like, he's not initiating the offense. We know what he is. Awesome shooter, not a whole lot else. They have Evan Nelson coming in from Harvard, but he has some ball security issues. And not the most dynamic scorer, but some encouraging playmaking numbers. But he's also a lot smaller than Burries. So I think Burries is more of that traditional combo guard, that 1.5 type of guard, where he's not quite the shooter that you would want from a 2, not quite the playmaker that you would want from a 1, but is blending the two. And I think there's a real chance that he grows into that role and is able to take over some of those backup creation responsibilities, because when the passing's right, it's really fun and he can get downhill a lot. He's really strong, not afraid of contact. So I'm just kind of intrigued to see how he's used.
Yeah, Tommy Lloyd's over the years played a little small too, with even putting Del Orso at the 3 at times. That's not something I love, but
No.
I could see them maybe saying, "Hey, Burries has been playing so good. Maybe you could put him in the backcourt with Jaden Bradley. Maybe that's your rotation. You get some versatility with Koa Peat at the 3. Maybe you could play Koa. I still think he's going to be more of like a 4, but you never know. This team's going to be one of those wait and see to see the rotation. Probably a lot like last year, where we were like, what is this rotation with Carter Bryant? Like, get him in, so
yeah.
This one just feels different, this Wildcats team, because they're younger, which might be more fun, but it's just a lot of unknown right now. I think there's a lot of talent. We're just trying to kind of see what Tommy Lloyd does with it.
Is it weird for me to say that the guy that I'm most excited about on this Arizona team isn't anyone we've talked about yet, and is instead the ESPN's number 37th overall recruit, Dwayne Aristode? And apologies on pronunciation for any and all of these guys. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But Dwayne Aristode, I'm in love with this dude.
Okay, full disclosure to everyone. I was like keeping this one in the chamber. I was like, I don't know if I just didn't want to share it and get shot down with the no ceilings chat, or if I was like, hey, I need to actually do like another possessed deep dive to make sure I'm really serious on this one. But Metcalf the other day threw it to the group chat, and I just like flipped my desk with excitement. I love him. I think there's
so much
here.
fun.
I watched him when he committed, and I was like, what? That's his ranking?
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a dog. And then I watched him closely, and I was like, there's stuff here. And I feel like me and you have kind of had that hot take of like, I might just be as excited as Koa Peat. And then you were like, I might be more. And I was like, I get it, because Metcalf just looks like he's a third-year NBA player by his body, his frame.
Yeah.
And then he can shoot. Like, hit me with it. You run with it. Like, what got you like, oh, I'm in?
Yeah, and he's listed at 6'7", 210. Love that. He is a menace on defense. Like, I was really worried about this Arizona team defensively after losing Carter Bryant, after losing KJ Lewis, after losing Henry Vesar. And obviously Aristode isn't going to cover up all of that, but I think he could cover up a lot of it. And if he's not starting at the 3 for the vast majority of this year, I don't know what we're doing. Because his defense is that good. The way he slides his feet, anticipates stuff, sits down in the stance, communicates off ball, rotates off ball. And then there's some really fun passing stuff with him too, not as a primary guy, but as someone who will cut back door and then no look a weak side defender and then dump it off to someone else, or, move defenders with his eyes in that secondary or tertiary role. I I buy the spot up shot. Not a whole lot of on ball creation there. Handle needs work, all of that kind of stuff. Needs to get better as a movement shooter. But the 3-and-D baseline with him, I think, is incredibly high and is, I think, one of the more bankable archetypes among this freshman class, where we're constantly looking at guys and going like, eh, and already he feels equal parts safe and exciting.
Yeah, when you look into the player, you do what we do in the off season at No Ceilings. You dig deep. You try to find the background and like, okay, let me get caught up. What's the foundation here? You get excited. Also,
Yeah,
according to Arizona's website, we are pronouncing the last name correctly, Aristode,
love that.
which is a first
Yeah,
of all time. But Dwayne was playing overseas. This is the stuff I kept looking into, and I was like, oh man, I'm getting excited. Every time I read something new, I get more excited. So he played in Spain for 3 years with Joventut. Came over to US. He also spent time playing with the Netherlands senior national team as a 17-year-old. Pretty good. He missed his senior year because he had an injury. So like, I always take that as like, okay, bummer about the injury, but like probably why you didn't create more noise, create more buzz, is because he missed the year. So, and Arizona has a fun fact that he has a 6'10" wingspan. Lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Good measurables, the 3D baseline, what you're saying is great. I just watching a lot of these high school kids and incoming freshmen, you can tell pretty quick who pops. Like on tape, you could tell like, whoa, okay, this is going to be something. He was one that popped immediately. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
when you're watching too, and it's like the first clip and you're like, I really hope it's that guy. And then
Yeah.
he gets the ball and like shoots and it's gorgeous. You're like, okay, that's a beast. So Aristode is firmly on my like watch list at the top of just like, this could be something real quick because of the foundation. I like the background of like he has experience overseas playing in some tougher competition, and then you're coming stateside now and big time recruit. Like I just like this. This is a good foundation. So I think a lot of people are focusing on Koa Peat. I think this is the one where I'm like, you got to keep an eye on this one.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I have him as like a top 15 guy right now, which might be a little spicy, but it's September, so deal with it. Anything else with Arizona?
No, there's a couple names that I don't think are going to be one and done, but City Gay is a name I would keep an eye on long term. Stretched out big, played overseas. I think that's a really fun project of potential to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Might be a sophomore breakout guy, but his frame I think just needs to fill up. But you watch some of his international stuff, just stretched out center that's athletic, rim running, lob threat. Your boy with the T-Wolves, I hope are Beringer. I hope it's like City's becoming one of those versions of just go run hard, block everything, and dunk it. Like that's all he needs to do. But fun tools.
I actually kind of enjoyed a lot of what I saw from Bruce James as well. Not a one and done type guy. A lot of work to be done, specifically on the offensive end. But I like his defense. Really good rebounder, smart passer. Handle needs to improve a ton. Shooting consistency needs to improve a ton. But someone I would expect probably gets minutes next year or the year after.